What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video I want to talk about a news story from a few days ago that gets me very, very happy about at least part of the future for PlayStation. And this is Nix's, and I hope that's how you say it right. They're the ones who work on a lot of the PC stuff, right? And they're the good ones that work on the PC stuff. So when you give a game like a Ratchet and Clank or whatever to them, you can almost guarantee, not fully, but almost, that the game is going to be really good. Well, they did a kind of a channel trailer or a studio trailer, and they talked about, well, obviously PC and having those ports, right? That's a really big part of the studio, but they are also working on remasters, and that's a really big part of the studio now and going forward. And let me tell you something, okay? There's not much that gets me happier about Sony or about PlayStation going forward than hearing about the possibility, even just the possibility of remasters, or, I mean, remakes are not what was said, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because they didn't say remakes, they said remasters. Look, PlayStation has a storied history. That's actually kind of why I like PlayStation. That's what gravitated me towards it. The Infamouses of the world. Resistance was immediately one that I absolutely freaking loved. Obviously, Sly Cooper, if you go back in time just a little bit. And why these games have not been brought back, we've questioned, and I've questioned my sanity. I've questioned a lot of things in my life, and that's one of the things I've questioned, that how can you just leave these games in the past? Because to be honest with you, going forward with this live service approach, and yes, it's not the full approach of PlayStation, but it's about half. It's, over the coming years, they actually had shown that in documents that they are going to be putting half, if not more than half, of kind of, their revenue, their expectations towards the live service stuff. Let me tell you something. You got this man right here. Now, technically, I want Cole. I don't want him, but you got Infamous. Bring it back. Do you know that there's no collection of all of the Infamous games? You got 1, 2, Festival of Blood, this, and you technically have First Light. There's no place to play all of them in one specific spot. Sly, you have the Sly Collection. Well, guess what? That's a PS3 game, okay? It was a long time ago you released the Sly Collection, and you don't have Thieves in Time as part of it. You got to do the Sly Collection, and then you got Thieves of Time separate. Resistance. I do think there's a Resistance bundle. I think. I could be wrong here. 1 and 2, but there's no place for all 3 of them. For the love of God, give me the 3 Resistance. Killzone. Now, here's the thing. Depending on which game you choose, depending on which era you choose, I would say a remake makes more sense, okay? So when I think to the first Sly Cooper game, I think remake. When I think to some of the earlier Killzone games, I mean, even Killzone 3 is getting quite old, but you think of Killzone 2, Killzone 1, at least Killzone 1, remake it. Infamous. See, Infamous feels like one I would do a remaster for, right? Resistance. Well, Resistance 1 is quite old, 2 is not as old, and 3 is not. I think 3 was 2011. So could you do a remaster? Could you do like a Mass Effect thing where you remake the first game but remaster the other 2? Again, let me say a couple things here. No, I'm going to go off here because, again, we just don't get this kind of excitement all the time. I understand that they are one studio. I understand that I know they're a good studio, so that does make me happy that they put in the work, and in terms of like gurus for getting things to work in places that they weren't designed for, they do a really respectable job. But I get it's one team. I get that asking them for 4 remaster collections is a bit much. But look, this partnership with Sony, this idea, and I don't remember, are they owned even by Sony, or maybe Sony just has a deal? I think they could actually be owned by them, but whatever, I don't really care. If they're in the pocketbooks of PlayStation, if their goal is to help Sony with PC stuff, which will make money, so expand the studio, make it bigger, work on the PC stuff, and then also, and again, like they at least admit it. They at least say it out loud. We're doing PC stuff, but we're also doing remasters. Now, could that mean remasters on the PC? Does that mean remasters in general? Hopefully it's remasters in general. I would honestly hope so. You think of Bloodborne? I mean, you can go down the line. Again, this is what draws me to PlayStation, not necessarily the newer stuff. I mean, I love Horizon. I'm a really big fan of Horizon, maybe more than most people, but I think to the Infamouses, Resistance, Sly, those 3, Killzone would probably be 4, so those 4 would make up like a core 4. Bloodborne, like, okay, I'm not very good at those games, so I tend to kind of forget Bloodborne, but you make a Bloodborne remaster, and you put it on PS5, and you put it on PC, and you tell me that that thing is not going to sell a couple million copies, because it will. It absolutely will make you your money back tenfold. I mean, it'll do incredible numbers. So This is an easy idea. This is not a rocket science kind of idea. And now at least we know that one studio is kind of working on it. Can you get Bluepoint involved? Bluepoint already kind of does that stuff, right? Remakes, remasters. Have your tag team duo, whatever, of those two studios, and watch as the money comes in, okay? Because the money will come. So those are the ones I'd want. You let me know in the comments which ones you want, and hopefully we get some of them. I mean, I do see people. Jack and Daxter was one that I saw comments talking about. Bloodborne is a big one. I did see Sly dropped. I mean, for the love of God Almighty, okay? Sly Cooper. I'm going to say it until I die. I need Sly Cooper back. And I don't care if it's a remake. I don't care if it's another remaster collection. I don't care if it's Sly 5. Give me Sly Cooper. And if it takes this company to grow a little bit and not just do PC stuff, but also do remasters, I will do it. I will accept that. That's no problem whatsoever. Let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.